On the same day, Moscow said Ukraine struck deep into Russia with U.S.-made atacms missiles. President Vladimir Putin lowered Russia's threshold for a nuclear response to be able to respond to a broader range of conventional attacks. Russia has the world's biggest nuclear arsenal, and Putin is the main decision maker on how to use it. The change was published on the 1,000th day of the war in Ukraine and drew swift rebuke from its president, Volodymyr Zelensky.
Especially this day, they presented nuclear weapons strategy. Why? They didn't present peace strategy. Did you hear it? Did you read about it? No, of course. Of course, nuclear weapons strategy. Putin wants war.
Speaking in Brazil, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov warned against cherry-picking what's in the new doctrine, saying, "I hope this doctrine will be read." The old one said Russia could fight nuclear with nuclear or use nuclear weapons against a conventional attack that threatened its very existence. Analysts say the big change now is that Russia...
That's like those old school Russians, like where a Russian spy is like caught and they got like, or a German spy, they got like the fake tooth and they got like the cyanide when they get caught and they just take it. They said they could, if they felt like Russia, like they were losing a war and the Russia was going down, and then they could use the nukes to like basically commit suicide. Like, hey, we going down, the rest of the world's going down. Fuck it. That's a dangerous fucking doctrine. That stopped because they said nuclear with nuclear at first, but then that makes a conventional warfare could come in, right, and just overwhelm them. But even if they is, then they could use it like a last-ditch effort. Like, can you imagine if Hitler had that? He would have hit that button when he was in that bunker. Oh, that's dangerous. And you got Zelensky sitting there, almost smiling, like no peace plan, no peace plan. Where's your peace plan at? Y'all getting permission to use more long-range missiles. I didn't hear no peace plan from y'all either. This is ridiculous. We cannot keep doing this. Russia's evil and then everything the U.S. right. We did the same thing to the Middle East countries. Like that, whatever Putin is trying to do to them, you can say we did the same thing. But we were...
Could consider a nuclear strike in response to a conventional attack that posed what it called a critical threat to its sovereignty or territory. Together, Russia and the U.S. control 88% of the world's nuclear warheads.
That's one of those things that probably wouldn't happen. Like, even if they're about to get struck and Putin's like, yo, hit the button, we about to get taken. Like, there's a lot of other people that still got to agree. A lot of other people with kids at home and everything, that there's a lot of talk, but that's one of those things. You think they actually do it?
The U.S. National Security Council said it had not seen any reason to adjust its nuclear posture. Moscow has been warning the West for months that if Washington gave the green light to Ukraine to fire U.S., British, and French missiles deep into Russia, it would consider those NATO members to be directly involved in the war. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer spoke to reporters from the G20 in Brazil.
There's irresponsible rhetoric coming from Russia.
On both sides.
And that is not going to deter our support for Ukraine.
Moscow's forces are advancing at their fastest pace since the early weeks of the conflict, with some Russian and Western officials alike saying the war could be entering its final and most dangerous phase.
Final stage, because Biden going to be out and then Trump going to be in, so then maybe we get some peace and some actual talk. Russia is like, yo, I'm getting surrounded, and there's a lot of rhetoric. I don't think they're the dude, but it's still like, it's like that big joker. Like, y'all sitting there, like the Ukraine, you get them permission for them to throw out the little joker, go out the the deuce or the ace, and with their long range missiles, like, oh, okay. So you can't keep pretending like, oh, it's Russia versus the Ukraine. No, otherwise the war probably would have been over by now. It's Russia versus the Ukraine and all these other places, the U.S. and all these other countries that's just giving them weapons, like, and staying out of it. The same thing we accuse Russia of. Oh, Russia backs Iran and Iran backs Hamas and they're giving them weapons. Okay, so we're giving them Russia. Ukraine is damn near Hamas. To Russia, as far as Russia is concerned, they're back. They're militants in Ukraine backed by the U.S. The same way they say, hey, well, Israel's fighting this war and Iran is backing Hamas and Hezbollah and they're getting their weapons and money from them. Well, fucking Ukraine is getting their weapons and money from us. Like, but they don't Cause we know all the proxy groups that Iran has and the names and all these and Yemen and all these other places. But where's the US's, huh? Who is the US's proxies? It's these other countries. It's Israel and the Ukraine. They do what we want and we support them. It's like one side sponsors the Bloods, the other side sponsors the Crips, and they both say how the other side is bad and terrible. But we, the American people, will rise above it. We want our pursuit of happiness. We want world peace. We want to be thinking about space and God and raising our family, not about war and tragedy and homeless people and the streets are dirty and nasty. Stop playing games, politicians.